Hey guys, welcome. You're here to install some Mambo wraps, and I have a guide for you. We have our sticker sheet, our alcohol isopropyl. We want to wipe our hands, we want to degrease our fingers, and we also want to degrease the transmitter in case you just ate or something. And it helps it stick a lot better. We're going to start with piece number one. Everything's labeled here. The video has been sped up just to try to cut down a little bit, but I know it's still long. As you can see here, I'm just lining up the buttons. Use your thumb to lay down the edges. All right, so we're pretty much done with piece number one, and we might add a little bit of heat afterwards. Piece number two is right here, and it's actually two pieces. The one was a little bit of an afterthought. It goes just under the USB plug. I'm using a pick to help me with the process and to take the rest off the transfer sheet. And this is the bigger part of piece two, and just take it off carefully. Try not to stretch it. Line it up with the little feet at the bottom of the transmitter. Anyways, as you can see, I'm just putting this on there. If everything follows quite well. Here's my heat gun. You can use a hair dryer. Make sure that the heat doesn't burn your hands or anything, and that's why I tested just in close proximity. You can get the edges to come down. It relaxes them. So if it looks like you have an edge that just doesn't want to come down, a little bit of heat will help the installation tremendously. Here I'm just checking the edges. Right here for the switches, I'm taking out the pieces that I don't need. There should be 4 of them. And when you take this out, just be careful that you don't rip it out. You can see me pointing out the area that you're going to be pulling out. And you're just basically going to relax it and lay it over top of the transmitter. And you may have to lift it once or twice just to line up along the switches. The fit is there. If you happen to get the sticker on a little bit crooked, there's plenty of room for you to move around. You can move the sticker back and forth and just gently start from the middle and work your way out. I've made several pieces to make this a lot easier. I believe this is probably the hardest one out of them all, and it might look intimidating, but it's actually quite easy. See the switches on this particular one. I cut it out so that you don't have to stretch the sticker. I've moved on here to piece number 4. As you can see, I'm working incredibly fast at 200% speed. And this is just for the purposes of trying to make the video as short as possible, even though it's still almost 20 minutes long. If anybody has issues with following with the speed on YouTube, on the bottom right, you should have a speed speed dial. Basically, you can slow it down quite a bit, and you can also pause the video and go back if you need to. If you're happy with the fit here, just you can either just lay it down with your thumb or put a little bit of heat to relax the sticker. So we're going to pull off this piece right here that goes under the screen. It's very simple. You just take the bottom right and left. Just line those up nicely. Just gently put it down. Once you have the little long pieces there lined up, you just press it down with your finger. Hair dryer, heat gun. Heat gun, make sure it's low settings. I'll probably repeat that many times. We've moved on to piece number 6 already. And you have a switch hole, a couple buttons. Take those out. Just gently pull it out. Make sure you're not going to rip the sticker. The sticker is very forgiving. And here I'm just basically trying to eye up the best alignment. And you can do this several times. Gently put down in the middle. Once you like it, start working your way from inside out. Put a little bit of heat, relaxes your edges, and they pretty much just put themselves on. Now in these spots here, you may get a little bit of a wrinkle. No big deal. Just pull it out, rework it with your thumb, and with the heat, it'll help it go down a little bit better. Now you can get this a little crooked, but that's okay. There's plenty of room there to readjust, or if you want, you can just let it go and then just tuck in the edges. This piece here is a little bit of annoying, but it's also optional, and it just goes around the gimbal. It's very small. It can get stuck to your fingers or stuck together. Just gently pull it apart, and you can start in one corner of the gimbal, and then just push it one corner. You can use a pick to help you, or an X-Acto knife. And if you like it, that's good. And you can just pretty much push it into position. And we're going to do the other side as well. So a pick or X-Acto can get this piece out. If you're doing it by hand, it might get stuck together. This one here, I pulled it out too fast, but you can see that I can just pull it apart without actually pulling on it too hard. If you pull on it too hard, you might stretch it a little bit. You may have to cut the little square and just overlap it wherever you may have stretched it, and it should be fine. Piece number 9 is basically 2 excess pieces that you got to take out. One right there and one over by the dial. And just gently pull it off, just like the other side. And you can see that the transfer sheet, some of the areas are a little skinny, and we don't want to rip them, so just kind of make sure you're just slowly pulling it off. Then familiarize yourself with the area and align it up. Same thing like we did on the opposite side. Work your way from the middle, kind of towards out of the sticker. Make sure it's tucked in there in the corner. And then you'll probably end up using a little bit of heat there in the corners just to make sure it goes down nice. And I put a couple slits so that when you do bend it over, they overlap and they go down nice. And like I said, very low heat. You're not using too much. A hair dryer would be more than enough. Hot climate areas, you probably won't even need a heat gun. Colder areas, you'll probably need a heat gun. It's nice to work with a heat gun. And this was piece number 10. And we're doing the same thing. We're lining up one corner with the other, checking the fit, and you can pretty much move the stickers side to side if you need to adjust. And then there's piece number 11. And just slowly pull these ones off. You don't need to pull them off too hard. You want to just prevent any stretching. Flip your transmitter upside down, follow the notches or the feet, whatever you want to call them, line them up, and then just kind of go to town there, lining it up best way you can. And you can adjust the sticker quite easily from this point on. Now you'll see that there's some little extra tabs, and I put those in there just to basically make sure that almost the entire radio is covered. I put a cloth down so that way I'm not messing up the switches. Piece 12 here, you can just lay this down along the rubber of the handle. If it looks like it's misaligned, you can just pull it back a little bit gently and realign it. You can see me going from middle and then work my way out. This one's pretty straightforward. There's two holes that you can just use to align, help you align, and it pretty much just lays down flat. Almost perfectly. And again, you can move it back and forth to find the fit. Once you're happy with it, you can start pressing it down. And there's an overlap piece there and another overlap piece there. Here's your module cover, piece number 14. Some people, because this is tracer, you're not probably using a module. So it's nice to have that covered if you're just using it with just tracer. Make sure you take the piece out of this one here. That was piece number 15. Just line it up in this area here. You can use your pick to help you. You can just put one corner down and then just work the other side over. Shift it over with your thumb. And we'll use a little bit of heat to finish it off. The wrap is made so that you don't struggle with it. I took a lot of time thinking about people putting on these wraps for the first time. So hopefully this video helps out. I even added these little tiny little pieces, 16 and 17, just under the module area. Wasn't necessarily needed, but I put them in there anyways because I don't know. I have an OCD of trying to cover everything. We're here to 18. Same thing, two holes. Pull it off, line up the two holes. I like the fit there. Push it down. Push the corner in. And yeah. There you go. A little bit of heat just to kind of solidify the install. And then piece number 19. This one here I had to do a little bit of adjustment, and I actually kept the recording going so that you can see what can happen. So We're lining both sides, and I believe I put one side higher than the other. I tried adjusting it, I screwed it up, and then I adjusted it again to my liking. So right there, it's pretty snug. And you can see that I see a gap. So I went and fixed it. I didn't have to fix it. I could have just left it. It would have been okay, but it ended up making a gap on the opposite end. Here, I think that I actually have the piece on perfectly on there. I notice that I'm getting a gap on the left side before the grip. I still keep going with the heat. So right here, I'm basically showing you that even if you put heat down, it's like, oh crap, there's a bit of a gap there. It's about a mil and a half. And you can, if you had fingernails, you'd probably get that. You can use a pick too, but I get that spot right there. And here I'm showing you it's probably more like 2 mils. And it's too close, so I gotta push it out. I don't have to, but I want to. So we're not stretching anything, we're not pulling anything really hard. And I'm checking the fit there. I like that. I checked the fit over here. Now it seems like I got a gap, so then I basically go in between. And we're good. There we go. Now, because I was trying to keep my face out of the video, it was kind of difficult for me to install this, but trying to keep the product in view and keep my head out of there from looking really closely at the sticker where it's fitting. And this is your last piece right here, number 20. That's for your battery tray. You can see that I'm pointing right here to these two spots. Line those two spots, and you just lay the gently down. If you're happy with it, just let it flop on there. Nice flat surface, and it's a really nice fit. That's pretty much it. And you can pretty much use your heat gun to go over some corners, make sure that everything's sitting down. If you have a stubborn corner, add a little bit of heat, and that's it.